Hi guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we are discussing a very requested topic, what we have learned in our Tinder marriage. Yeah, guys, you know our story, and there are so many things we have learned, and we are just sharing them up to you. Feel free to actually comment down below what you are doing to make your marriage work. So these are the lessons we have learned in our Tinder marriage.
Yeah. So my point number one that I learned in our marriage is one, to choose to love him. Yeah. When I say choose to love him is the person is not perfect. He is not perfect, as you know. Every human being is not perfect. But choosing to love you, not because you're perfect, but because I want to have that, lifetime with you, to be happy in my marriage, and to know that as we progress, we're going to learn on the things that we should not do and the things we should do together in order to prosper. So it's all about loving someone. I'll love you with your weaknesses of maybe throwing socks away, losing things, maybe being a little bit hard or anything. But now I chose to love you for what you are, but not who you are. Yeah.
That is good. So that's your point number one.
Yeah.
My point number one, when they say happily married is totally different from living happily married. Yeah, by this I mean you can be happily married. I am happy I am married, but it does not mean every day you will be living happily. Yeah, in all marriages we have ups and downs, and some days are tougher than others, but you keep on going. So I can say, like always we normally say, you can say I am happily married, but you don't mean you are living happily. So it's the two of you to try and now work on living happily.
Wow. Another thing I've learned in marriage is never get to marriage right in high expectations. You know, many people think that marriage is a bed of roses, of which it's a lie. Yeah, to some extent it's a bed of roses, but not all the time. Once you get married, for instance, you go to marriage thinking that, when you were dating with this guy, he used to take me out for pizzas, for dinner, for outs, for dates. All the time it's date, dinner. All the time it's sweet things. Babe, can we spend the whole day on the couch, maybe watching a movie, or in bed, catching up, having fun, Never have high expectations in marriage. Always be open. Let it be a blank book, ready to learn, because your marriage will never be the same as the one that you watch on the soap operas in the TV, or the ones that you watch in Nigerian movies. It will never be like that. That's just acting. So you should never have high expectations that you expect your partner to be running when it's raining and he's running to you, with a rose flower maybe, or even doing the impossibles. You understand? So once you're getting in marriage, just be open to learn, and don't go there with high expectations of nothing. Yeah.
So what I have learned in marriage is marriage will teach you more about yourself than you ever bargained for.
Wow.
Marriage will teach you more about yourself than ever you bargained for. So just count it as a gift. Because you see, now you're living with a partner who is not your sibling, is not someone who you have grown up with. Yeah. So this is a totally different person who is coming to live together with you, and now they'll start pointing out things that you didn't know much about yourself. Because you see, your siblings know everything about you, and even if you had like a queer behavior, they have learned to live with that. So they don't see it like,
About that to them.
Yes, but now marriage will teach you more about yourself than you ever bargained for. Count it as a gift.
Wow. So another thing I've learned in marriage is putting God first. Okay, for instance, you just do things, you never put God in your issues or anything, you don't talk to your God, telling him to help you. you won't survive for long. You also need a God-fearing husband. I don't want a husband who is like carrying a Bible all the time gospel music all the time. No, I'm not meaning that, but I'm meaning a person who can go and talk to God when there is an issue, that God, I want wisdom, give me wisdom to know how to tackle certain issues, or maybe even to put or to defend your family. You know, putting your family in the hands of God, it becomes a successful marriage. But a marriage where there is no God, God will punish you. God will say, okay, now you people, you see yourself as if you're so powerful. Let me just remove this and see what will happen to you guys. So having a God-fearing partner is one thing, and always holding hands together. A partner who tells you not to go to church, you're lost. Just get lost. Run away from that person. But a person who is there in terms of trouble, in terms of everything, and seeks advice from God, that's the person to go to. Yeah.
Good. What I've learned again, when they say marriage is hard, believe them. Yes, guys, when they say marriage is hard, believe them. Reason being, marriage is something actually you are working together, you know, because it's two people meeting for a common goal.
Yeah.
Now the common goal, you see, my goal in life was different from your goal in life, but now we have to find a common ground, me and you. So finding a common ground without, you know, clashing each other is normally a very, very hard thing, because you see, my dreams were different, your dreams were different. Now when we try to merge, there's some elimination method. Now some things in my dream, I'll have to forget about them. Some things in your marriage, you'll have to forget about them. So when they say marriage is hard, believe them.
Another thing I've learned is sorting out issues. These we have a very different line of issues. Like when I want to sort issues, one thing, if I come to know he has hurt me, or maybe he has done something contrary to what I love or I like, is or maybe I'm annoyed with something, or someone outside has made me mad. I love venting. I just like speaking it out to him. I will just come and bash him and know, you know, this and this happened, this and this said, this and this. You know, I want to vent, but for him, he's not a venting person. He just like just going silent on something and letting it just flow and get a solution to it. But for me, I want to talk about it. I want to pour it out. I don't want to keep the issue, you know. I don't want to keep the issue in me, because it will still bother me. So what I love doing is venting out. Him is a more of a solution person. Me, I'm a more of venting out and then I'll get a solution later. Him is more of getting solution immediately, and maybe he will never even vent about it. He will just speak about it later when things are sorted. But for me, I love talking. I'll talk a lot. In fact, I'll just make the whole day a noisy day. Yeah.
What I have learned concerning the same, learning to fight is important. By fighting, I don't mean physical fighting. I mean knowing how to bring out your issues, bring out your grievances. Now, in like when you're fighting, there are rules. Like you're not supposed to fight to fight someone under the belt. Yeah. So even in marriage, when you're living with I'll try to figure out how to bring out my grievances without attacking you personally. You know that the personality I'm talking about. So in our fight, that is now beating someone under the belt. Yeah. So knowing how to fight, knowing how to sort out your issues. Like she said, she loved talking. I'm not a talking person. I'm a quiet person. But I believe learning how to fight is important.
Another thing I've learned is, marriage is what you are. You know, when I say marriage is what you are, it's so many people will tell you about marriage. Like, oh, marriage is so sweet, we never fight. Another person will tell you marriage is the first year or the first few months of marriage is all about rosy things, fun and everything. And then later after that, when you guys get to know each other, it will start being a fight and everything. But what you are or what the two of you are is what brings your marriage. There is no day your marriage will ever be the same like your moms, your aunties, or your sisters, or your friends. Your marriage will still remain your marriage. It's who you are. How the two of you have decided to carry each other is what will bring up your marriage.
Good. So another lesson I've learned is to be each other's cheerleader. By saying each other's cheerleader, I mean she has her goals. She has her ambitions. I have my ambitions. I have my goals. So she has to support me in my ambitions. I have to support her in her ambitions. That way, the marriage will work. But you see, if we don't find a common ground, like she wants to pursue this way and I want to pursue the other way, if we don't come to a common ground, then we'll keep on fighting and it may not end up well.
Yeah. Another thing I've known is men and women do communicate differently. Maybe I'll get something and I want to communicate it to him. I'll just look for a way to, okay, I won't go straight to the point. Like I want to communicate something to you. I'll just look for a way. I'll just look for so many meanders to make sure I've driven the point home. I won't go straight. But for men, it's but not men, but for him, I've known that if it's A, B, C, he will just say it as it is. But for us women, we look for a way to sugarcoat it. You know, if you know it's something that is going to, maybe he's going to reject it or say no about it, I'll try to look for a way to sugarcoat that thing so that he can accept my deal. But for him, it's like you take it or leave it. That's how it's going to be. So communication also is another thing, the most important in fact.
What I've learned again is we may not be equal and that is okay. Yeah, we may not be equal and that is okay. In terms of like our communication skills, like you've said, we communicate differently. We get angry at different levels. Yeah, everything about us is different. So we have to be different because we come from different backgrounds and all that, which is fine. And we are not even equal in terms of intelligence. In terms of, when you talk about intelligence, we're not talking about educational intelligence. We also have emotional intelligence and all that. So all those are intelligence. We may not be equal and that is fine.
Support is another thing for me. I'll support you. I'll support my husband here when I have a genuine support on it. I don't want it to be I'm so much pushed to support you on something. For instance, if I know something, I'll not give it the very best of what I know, or if my ideas won't be the very best of it, I will tend to maybe to drag behind and think about it, because I want to give you that full support that you need, but not a support just to show that I'm there to give you support. You know there are people who are just there to give support, but they're not supportive. Yeah. So I'll support you of how much you want me to be. And equally, I will also want that support. Even if you've done something bad to me, let's say, like the way you see sisters do, they'll defend their younger sisters, even if the younger sister is the one who has started the problem. They will fight those people. Then later they'll come and tell them, once you did this, I'll support you, but next time you do that, I'll beat you instead. So like the way so many times you've supported me, when people come and start nagging me around or fighting me, you support me, of which I appreciate. But you tell me next time you do it.
I've never said I'll beat you.
You'll never beat me, but you always tell me next time you start problem somewhere, I won't be there to support you. So I appreciate that support, and so many other supports that we do.
Good. Another thing I've learned is combining your family and friends is very important. When I say family and friends, is her family becoming my family, accepting personally that her family is now my family, and accepting that her friends are now my friends. So when we have common friends, it becomes so easy. So if she wants to go and see, say, Augustine is also equally my friend. You understand? So I'll also be having an urge to go see Augustine as much as she does. And when you go there, and if it's the same with them, it becomes a happy visit. You can imagine now if your friends are my enemies,
we fight,
and you tell me that you are going to see your friends, or maybe my friends are your enemies, and I tell you I'm going to see my friends, you'll be like, the whole day will be a messy day for you.
Exactly. Another thing, and I would love to urge this out, is date each other more often. Keep on going for dates, even if it's a date for sweet nothings, where he will take you out and tell you, you know what, babe, I love you, what, those sweet nothings, but something concrete, because it's marriage. This is not an experiment, marriage is not an experiment. It's an institution that will never leave unless you decide to quit completely. So learn to date each other. Even if it's not a high-end date, you guys just go grab some ice cream, a pizza, maybe burger, do something out, or even just buy some snacks, go sit somewhere, talk. Such dates will make you and your partner to continue loving each other more, and also to want to be together more often. Like most of the time I'm out, he's home, working from home, I can't work from home. So we tend to just have the free time that we get to have it in the evening when I come back, or maybe weekends. So with that, you can have many dates, as many as possible. Not expensive dates. Don't cause problems to your partner asking for expensive dates. Just a date that will make you and him have your own sweet time without involving any other person. Just the two of you. Yeah.
Another thing I've learned, comfortable silence is golden. Comfortable silence, I mean having a me time and you having your you time. So having a me time, I always like having a lot of me time ever since I think I was a young person. So I always like having a me time, and that's when I reflect about my life. That's when I think about so many things, my dreams, how far I am, towards my goals, and all that I'll think during my silent time. So sometimes I want to be silent. It does not mean that you have actually clashed with your partner. It does not mean I am angry with you. I just want some quiet time. So comfortable silence is golden.
Another thing I've learned in marriage is being me. Being me in terms of I'm not a superwoman. I can't run errands all through alone. If I need help, I'll ask for help. I can't just pretend. Before I would just sit and do everything and tell him, you know what, house chores and everything, they're meant for a woman. And I'll do that alone without involving him, because I feel that even sometimes I told him, you know what, I don't want a house help in my house. I just want to do everything for you, cook for you, make sure everything is good. But for him, he saw it was so tiresome, to a point that I just got to a point I told him, you know what, no, I'm tired. I need help here, because as we get to know each other more, we also need more time together. So I'll need help, because I'll feel that I'm more into house chores or doing chores, or even him helping in a certain chores, and he won't do it perfectly the way I want. It will bring fight between us. So it's good to look for someone to help you, so that you can, not be a super mom. You don't want to pretend to be a super mom when you're young. You're just a human being. Yeah. Another
thing I've learned, don't complain about how food was cooked when it's your spouse who has cooked it. Guys, yeah? Salt. Yes, of course, you'll have issue with salt, but anyway, it's just trying to, go easy on things, because sometimes when you start complaining about the food and it's your spouse who has cooked, it becomes a fight that does not end there. Yeah, like you always complain about the pilau that I cooked for you on the first day.
Yeah, pironjiri. I'm not complaining though.
But after that, I've taught you so many things. I've taught you how to cook chapati and so many other things. So don't complain about the cooking style when it's your wife or when it's your spouse who has cooked.
Another thing I've learned in marriage is whoever I am is him, and whoever he is me. Basically, if I appear like being violent or something, it's him who has showed me to be. I'm not speaking in a bad way, but whatever you are or whatever how people see you, it's the reflection of your partner. If I'm a polite person, people will say, oh, this lady got the politeness from Mwakazis and she became someone polite. Like for me, in my family or my family members thought that I will never be married because I'm one person who loved doing my own things. You know, if I mean I want to do this, even if it's bad, I'll still do it. So they never thought that I would ever be serious in life and be married, because they always saw me like a baby. I'm always clinging to my dad, this, that. So I'm a reflection of what you see in Mwakazis, and Mwakazis is what you see in me. Yeah.
Another thing I've learned is never start your day with naggings and complaining. Never start your day with naggings and complaining, because that day will be messy, and in fact your spouse will not want to hear from you, will not want to, as in you really spoil the day for each other, and they'll not be longing or looking forward to hearing from you or looking forward to seeing you. So never start your day with naggings and complainings.
What I would add is love language. Do you know your partner's love language? Guys, soon you're going to bring for you our video of our love language. I'm not going to speak much about it because that's a video by itself. So you should also learn to know your love language to your partner, what he loves and when and how it should be. Yeah, that's one thing. Love language also matters a lot in marriage.
Another thing I've learned is admit your shortcomings. They are obvious anyway. Yeah, if I twang, if I shrub, it just means I know another language. So kindly just admit your shortcomings. They're obvious in terms of should just see it. I can't hide. Yeah, what do you think? Nil Bernal, Nil Paoro. Yeah, but it's important lesson.
Yeah.
Learn to admit your shortcomings, because either way you cannot hide them for long, so they are obvious. Yeah. What are some of my shortcomings you've learned?
I don't want to say them here.
Just one or two.
Let me not say. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so another lesson I've learned, or you have another?
Yes, okay. Definitely. I have one. Patience, guys. Patience. There are people who are short-tempered and there are people who are hot-tempered. Short-tempered. You will do something bad to him. Within no time, he has forgotten about it and he's talking again, maybe, if it's not all that provocative. So how you handle or how patient you are with him, it will bring a good, it will give a positive attitude towards you. Because guys, there are people who are short-tempered, but they won't forget what you just did. But with patience, give him the patience that he needs. If you're not patient if you don't have patience in marriage, every day will be a battle day. You will fight every day. You will ask for this and he's not giving you. For instance, there are people who got in marriage, or maybe they started dating when they were rich. You have money, you have work, I have work, and we have all sweet time because we have finances. But along the way, like how COVID happened, things went awry. Things went blank. And now you don't have that patience. You're like, babe, I want that shoe. You promised to buy me a shoe. You promised to take me to a certain hotel, and you're not taking me. You don't have patience. Now you start seeing this person as if he's not even concerned anymore about you. So you should have patience and support each other. Things will be okay. Yeah.
So another thing I've learned, and I think it has worked at some percentage for me, is you should always love a person who is photogenic. I was photophobic for a very long time, actually. You can rarely see like my childhood photos. I was, but now when I met her and she's so photogenic, it made me love photos. It made me love so many good memories. So whenever we take photos, it's a good memory. See, it's a nice photo because you also want to keep it. You also want to, cherish it over and over again. So that's one thing I've learned. And I would like also you to tell us on the comment section what you have learned as we go on with this discussion.
So another thing I've learned, and it's helping me, is at least trying to involve your partner on your biological you. You understand? He is a man, I'm a woman. Maybe he never knew what happens when you have your periods, never knows the mood swings and everything. They just hear that women have mood swings, but help them understand who you are, your body change, everything that's happening to them, and make it as a fun, as a joke. Make it more lively. Like, like, babe, today I have mood swings, I don't want to talk to you. So the only way he can buy me out to cheer up is maybe buying me a chocolate. Maybe I'm giving you a hint. You should be buying me chocolate today. Buy me chocolates, or maybe talk to me well, something of the sort, but at least help your partner to know more about you. Yeah.
Another thing I've learned in marriage, you don't have to pee with the door open.
What do you mean?
Guys, you don't have to pee with the door open. What I mean is, you get you get acquainted to each other so much, you get hooked to each other so much, and you forget the spicy things in a relationship, just making things romantic. You forget that you even you go do your stuff you're doing in the open. So you think it's romantic, and it's not. Learn to spice up your relationship it's romance. Learn to keep the romance fire on throughout. So don't get used to your partner so much such that you can start now peeing with your door open.
But I want to fart in front of you. Yo, that's my last point, if I'd love to say. I read it somewhere that if you can't fart in front of your partner, if you're scared your partner to know how your fart smells, then he doesn't know you. I'm not going to comment about that, but you should do it in front of him. Let him see your reaction, but I'm not telling you to misbehave. Fart anywhere, but you should smell it also.
I'll not talk about that. But another thing that I've learned, it's okay to go to bed when mad. I know it's a gospel that has actually been told out there that don't go to bed when the two of you are angry. Don't. It's a common phrase, but to me, because you see, we like you said, we react to situations differently. And to me, because I'm a quiet person, I like taking times off. I like taking my time off, then I cool down and I'll be fine. So it's okay to go to bed angry or to go to bed mad, because by morning you'll have forgotten and you'll start a day afresh. I think it also depends on the magnitude of the previous era. You have another point, or I tell them the other point? So the other point I've learned is it's important to travel with your partner. Traveling with your partner keeps the bond between the two of you more tighter, because you go to places where people don't know you and you don't know anyone. You go to places, some places you go and people don't even speak your language. So the only people who can understand each other is the two of you. And guys, you are forced to communicate to each other more because you can communicate to no one else. Yeah. So some traveling are good because they make sure that the two of you bond together, and you have to communicate to each other. And my last point that I've learned, some years in marriage sucks. Some years, yes, sucks. So it's not like you started by saying it's not a bed of roses. There are some ups and downs. Like you said, last year was tough for most people.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a lot of relationship issues. So some years are tough. So it's not every year that is smooth. So some years are tough. And that's why marriage counselors will talk about the 4 Ds in marriage. So the 4 Ds you guys, if you know about the 4Ds, just comment on the section down here. Yeah, I know there is a dream. Dream is, you know, when you are growing up, your dream was to get married and blah 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 blah. Then you start now discover you are married. Now you start discovering, it's not what I thought. Yeah, this marriage thing is not what I thought, and that's why some people say marriage is like a public toilet. When you are outside because you're pressed, you want to go in, but when you are inside because it's messy and smelly, you want to go out. So that is now the second D, that is discovery. Then after discovery, drama. Not drama. So after discovery, drama. So after you discover your partner is like this and that, you start dramas. You start, you know, and most people in most relationships actually spend so much years in the drama section. You know, that's a part that should really come and pass quickly. But people really spend a lot of time in the drama section. And that's why most marriages actually break at that point, and some marriages actually start with drama. They don't start with dream. They don't follow it up with discovery. They go straight into drama. And the last D is now dance. After you have a dream and dream partner, you've discovered who he is in person, actually things that you didn't know about this person. You have had your dramas and they were shortened. The period of drama is as short as possible. Then now the rest is dance. Once you get to the dance part, those are the marriages that last beyond 10 years, beyond 20 years, beyond 30 years, beyond 40 years, until death do us part. So guys, we've come to the end of our discussion. Those were our lessons, my lessons, her lessons. And tell us on the comment section down below, what have you learned in your marriage? Because what you have learned might help someone else out there in their marriage.
Sure.
Okay, until the next time.
Adios.